Good afternoon. So I'm sure many of you have seen a few versions of the images that I'm showing you on screen right now. Today I was contacted by someone, or a friend of mine, who works at Games Workshop. Apparently my videos had made the rounds somewhere with a few people, among other people who have much bigger audiences than me, than I do, but this person felt it right to contact me because they know me. And say, hey, just so you know, a few people here have seen the videos and mentioned you by name. Fair enough. I'm not going to stop making these videos, because as far as I'm concerned, right, for 3 years, and this is directly to that person who I've already spoken to, but your company treated me like shit for 3 years. You know? I'm not interested in not... if they want to send letters, they can send letters, I really don't care. Just get on with it. I've got nothing, I'm a teacher. I've got nothing for them to take. So go for it. At the end of the day, today's video is about copyright infringements and IPs, and what Games Workshop are probably going to be doing to police their IPs from now on. Now I'm going to have a nice swig of cup of tea because, all this stemmed, by the way, from me wanting to do a positive video on Games Workshop, and the more I research and what they do well, the more Games Workshop keep just letting me down. That's the irony of it. The more I research, the more I try and get out there to find things that are doing well for communities and for hobby groups and for their fan base and for the good of the wargaming hobby in general and the modelling hobby in general, the more shit I'm finding that is not that, and I want to make a positive video. I'm making it my absolute mission within the next week or two to make a positive video about Games Workshop. It is coming. It's just taking a while, because it's hard to find stuff at the moment, and yeah. So, first of all, this is not a reply to another video, but more of a accoutrement to another video. So there's another video out there that is the main bodywork, and I am basically the pauldron on that bodywork. There's a video by a good chap called Voland, who I've followed for many years, a big Total War gamer, or a historical Total War gamer anyway. And his video was stellar on Games Workshop and how they're policing their IP, and it wasn't even aimed really at Games Workshop, it was aimed at Creative Assembly, who are handling the Warhammer, the Total War Warhammer franchise. There will be a link to that in the description below, and some of the sources I've taken directly from his work, so, it inspired me to make another video, and it is in the description. Please go give him a subscribe, and treat my video as an aside to that video, alright, as an appetizer, if you will. So what you're seeing before, your two pieces of artwork, and we've covered this before, of Griffith on the right and Fulgrim on the left, and I'm sure you can see the absolute similarities between the two. The only thing that's different are the colours of the armour. Yes, ridiculous, I know. I've been over this before. Even the wing sweep on the left pauldron is it's there. It's all there. This is what Griffith looks like in Berserk. That's what Fulgrim looks like in Warhammer 40k. The reason why I wanted to bring this up is because Games Workshop have been very forthright about protecting their intellectual properties. Goddammit, they've been very, 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 very vociferous in going after people who are having a go at their lovely trademarks. So here you will see something by Michael Moorcock in 2003, who is a very good fantasy writer. I've read a few of his books. And he was asked if he gets anything from Games Workshop for all of the random rip-offs that they've taken off him over the years, and there have been quite a few. And the first one is this Star of Chaos, where we have from Azrael there. Mike, do you by any chance get any royalties when people use the 8-pointed Star of Chaos? I was recently playing Warhammer Dawn of War, and after some forces escape, there was a cutscene. The ship bore the 8-pointed Star of Chaos. Man, your stuff sneaks into everything. I'm fairly new to the Warhammer universe, So having Chaos as an active force and standards of that star came as a complete surprise to me. So, Michael Moorcock replied, which is quoted here. Alright. He said, "Yes, this is the case. I drew it at my kitchen table whilst thinking up suitable symbols for law, a single arrow, and chaos, 8 arrows representing all possible choices. Games Workshop couldn't exist without the things they ripped off from me and Tolkien. If they'd made more of the material, I wouldn't mind. But they've dumbed it down too. Sometimes I get weary of this crap. Other times people remind me that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. A more sincere form of flattery than that, of course, is when when they ask you first. As I've often said, they can say it's flattery, but that's flattery of the guy you catch in your apartment when you come home at night and he's just heading for the fire escape with your new TV. Great taste in TVs, man," he says. Continuing. I'm sure you don't really need me to. I've got really intelligent subscribers. I don't need to explain this to you, but I'm going to, just for any newcomers who, are new to the controversies with GW. This has been going on for years. This is the same company tried to trademark the word Space Marine, and we've gone over that before on the channel as well. I feel like a broken record at times. It is absolutely diabolical that they treat content creators this way, because they then have the complete gumption to come to people who are. Let's look at that. All right, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Okay. Right. When people look at Games Workshop IP, right, people like the guy who made Astartes, people like text-to-speech device, they bring so many eyeballs to the hobby that it's almost obscene, right? They do it for free too, most of the time. Yes, they get paid a bit of money for their time on Patreon, okay, but that's people just giving them money. It's not always giving them money just because they do the Games Workshop thing, right? People just giving them money because they like their work. Which is completely fine as far as I'm concerned. As far as most people are concerned, to be honest with you. Okay? So, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I think Games Workshop need to learn that phrase. Because if people are using it against people like Michael Moorcock, who say, hey, they never even asked me, they haven't paid me a cent, then they need to be using it with Games Workshop too, as far as I'm concerned. Okay? Now let's look at it another way. How much money have Games Workshop made from Warhammer over the years? Let's just just throw out a blind figure. I'm going to call it, it's way more than this, but I'm going to call it like 500 million. It's way more than that. You're talking way. I'm picking a number out of this guy. 500 million. Alright? Text-to-speech device would pull in, what? Maybe 15, 20 grand a month? And this is just me estimating, right? And that's going off the accounts of Red Letter Media, who sometimes, they've let slip a few times what they're earning on Patreon, right? Now, the absolute shithousery to go after people who are giving you free advertisements with frivolous law cases to cease and desist using IP that you yourself stole from someone else, because it is stealing. By Games Workshop's own definitions, this is stealing. There's a Dune movie coming out soon, and I cannot wait for the comparisons of people to say, "Oh, this is just like Warhammer," and then older, more dishevelled geeks just shake their heads disappointedly and say, "Well, Warhammer came from Dune, my friend. Warhammer 40,000 came from Dune." Right? Take Gothic architecture, aliens, and Dune. That is Warhammer 40,000. Moving on. Michael said, "I could have trademarked it at some point, I suppose, but I wouldn't want to. Games Workshop's lifting from me and Tolkien might have introduced new readers, but it's still irritating." Exactly, Michael Moorcock. Yes, exactly. Games Workshop's lifting from me and Tolkien might have introduced new readers. That's why I didn't go after them. For the right reasons. I said, look, it's a fair cop. You guys have ripped off my work, but at least people might say, oh, this is... So if they'll overhear someone, oh, that's like that Michael Moorcock novel. Then I'll go and pick up one of my novels. Fair enough. It's still irritating, but I'm not going to take you to court over it, alright? However, there's a certain satisfaction of having added a few bits and pieces to the common culture to the extent that people actually don't know the origins of stuff and ideas they now use casually. None of that bothers me. The intellectual property I'm interested in protecting is my actual fiction, characters, backgrounds, and so on. There's a lot to be written about the process which develop a genre and then make it a popular genre, and I, of course, was part of that group, including Tolkien and Labour, who wrote individual books which then helped create and then become absorbed into a popular genre. It's a very strange feeling to have ideas which you regard as your individual ideas become part of the common culture. So he's saying something very, very specific there. He's saying, look, as much as this is irritating, it is quite nice to actually have my ideas form part of the common geekdom now. Even if people don't really realise where those ideas come from, my name will still be coming up at some stage. This is how you approach people ebbing off your work, right? If someone takes Moorcock's ideas, his fiction, his characters, his background and so on, and blindly recreates them, that is grounds for a lawsuit, as Michael Moorcock correctly points out here. Right? If someone takes the spirit and the forms of what you're talking about, right, and maybe one or two events that they've changed up a little bit and they've injected it into their own fiction, that's fine and dandy. Fine and dandy, not a problem, okay? And let's move on before I have a bloody hernia. So, this goes about paying people for their work. Michael Moorcock then says, a few years later, Warhammer have been bad about paying some of the authors, according to the ones I've known. So they're ripping off. They were ripping everyone off at every opportunity. It appears. This is an example of Pratchett's law, where people are taking everything out of the big pot and apparently putting absolutely nothing back in. Stew thieves. Nothing worse in this neck of the woods. That is completely true, right? It's completely true. Completely true. Games Workshop not adding anything. Not adding anything to the common culture. The only thing they've added is Nazi memes. Brilliant. Because I will say this now. I will say this now. There are parts of our community, and I've come across them, I've met some, right, who are closet Nazis. Right? Who are closet far-righties. Arseholes. Who use Warhammer as a smokescreen for their bullshit. That does happen. It happens in basically any fandom, really. And when I see it, I call it out. As I did when I worked at Games Workshop. I would call it out. I'd ban people from the store, right? I had one knobhead walk in with a fucking full-on coat. It was a really cool trench coat, but it had a fucking Nazi symbol on it. Out. Fucking get out, right? It does happen. Alright, that's the only thing Games Workshop have added to our hobby, basically, is better models, thank you very much, that they then overprice and sell at a premium and create false scarcity for, but, you know, we'll put that aside. That's in another video, right? That I've already done, go check it out. You're learning how to be a YouTuber, look, see? But they're adding nothing to the stew pot. The only thing they're adding to the stew pot are lawyers and really shitty people from the far left and the far right that we don't need in the fucking hobby. We don't. Right? That's all they're doing right now. Lawyers and bullshit. The only two things Games Workshop are adding to this hobby right now. Right? I want my kids to grow up and get into Warhammer. But as it's going right now, I can't make that decision. I can't have it in my house. I won't. Alright. Just to close up the video, because I think I've ranted long enough now. We're on 15 minutes, and you know what I'm like for going on about rubbish that no one wants to hear about. This is a job posting. So who is coming after you? Who is coming after you? If you're infringing on Games Workshop's rights, the rights of this mighty company. Alright? who's coming after you? Well, an infringement assistant is coming after you. Alright? Competitive salary based on experience. It's a permanent job at Games Workshop. You know? And it's posted recently. Alright. So, what is this candidate going to be doing? Well, you'll be assisting in protecting Games Workshop from risk through removing infringing counterfeit products, ensuring that our customers can continue to enjoy our products for years to come. Now, notice they say products and not models. Counterfeit products, not models. Removing infringing and counterfeit products and models. That means you can drop the counterfeit. Infringing. What can you infringe on? Games Workshop IP. What will these people be going after? Do you think they'll be going after the people with the 3D printers? No. Let's be honest. They're not gonna go trawling around eBay, sending out cease and desist. No. They're gonna be trawling YouTube. They're gonna be trawling Twitch and places like that for artwork and things like that, and videos that use anything to do with Games Workshop. Do you know what Games Workshop should do if they really cared about their customers? They would rename this, right, to Talent Scout. And that person would troll through the internet, they would troll through everywhere to find the best talent to have on Warhammer Plus. They wouldn't throw lawsuits at them to get them to either stop or join up. No. They would go and say, hey, this is really cool stuff. Do you want to become an official person and keep your YouTube channel? And come on board, son. We are consumer friendly and we're making lots of money. But no, it's called Infringement Assistant. Can you think of a more dystopian fucking name for a job than that? Infringement Assistant. Fuck off. Right. The ideal candidate will be able to demonstrate excellent attention to detail, I'm sure, yeah. Have excellent organisational skills, yeah. Ability to work deadline, enjoy, yeah. Normal corporate spiel. Normal corporate spiel. So, this role sits within our legal department. Okay, let me say, look, on here, let me just do it from here. Give you a little bit of a chance. What's standing out to you in the blue text? What should you need to do a job like this? Yeah, if you answered this, you're fucking dead on. This role sits within our legal department, however, no legal qualifications and experience are needed for the role. Okay, so they are getting bodies, guys. They are getting fucking snitches from the Reddit and from anywhere that they can. Corporate ball lickers who will do anything for free models and a Games Workshop paycheck that says Games Workshop on it. Right? The same people we've been going on about as YouTube and the NDAs and all this sort of stuff the past couple of weeks. That's who they're targeting with this. You don't need legal qualifications to do a legal fucking job on harassing people. This is an harassment specialist. This is what they do. They will go after you and they'll try and take down your work. That's all they're doing. Specialising in harassment is what this is. You can dress it up as legal speak all you want. I know the culture of that company. I was there. They're going to be sending you letters, emails, you know. Do you mind not doing that, or we'll be forced to take legal action, blah, 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 blah. Right? That's what's going to happen. And they don't even need legal degrees. Do you know why they don't need legal degrees, by the way? It's cheaper. They're scraping the bottom of the fucking barrel. They're taking the most hardline, brown-nosing forms of their communities, and they're turning them against their own fans, the people who actually want to spread the love of the hobby. I saw a really good video from Sword and Steel the other day, yesterday, where a friend of hers got sent a free Grey Knight box, and she was overcome. She was almost crying that she got this free. It's only a Terminator squad. There's this free Grey Knight box. I think there was Fright Squad in there too. And she said, "This is what the hobby is all about." And I completely agree. That's what we need to be celebrating. These are the people we need to be getting behind, right? It's people who do shit like that. Not so much Sword and Steel, she's doing fine, but the people who do shit like that. The people who give away the models that are sitting on their shelves for new people because they want to see that spark in them. Say, look, welcome to the hobby, here we go. Celebrate those people. This is fucking bullshit, and I'm sick of it. Anyway, I've had enough for the one day. Deadline's passed, so don't bother applying for it. It's all gone, but, you know, they've gotten their weasels now. Oh, God, guys, what's happening to the hobby? What's happening to the hobby? Have a wonderful day. I'll speak to you soon.